We have Purdue taking on LSU in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. LSU's a 14.5-point favorite over under 56. This game is at 1 p.m. Eastern on ABC in Orlando, Florida. Purdue opt-outs. They're major. Quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. Their star wide receiver, Charlie Jones. Their reliable tight end target, Payne Durham. Their best offensive lineman and guard, Spencer Holstage. Defensive side, their best cornerback in Corey Trice. Linebacker and defensive leader, Jalen Graham. Couple defensive linemen starters in Branson Dean and Lawrence Johnson. Also, Jeff Brom took the head coaching position at Louisville. I think he matters, especially from a game planning perspective. His brother, offensive coordinator Brian Brom, will coach the bowl game. LSU opt-outs, cornerback Jay Ward, who's a starter. Wide receiver Jeray Jenkins, he's like their third best receiver. And then the defensive line, Ojulore, Gay, and Roy, all out. So they only have one remaining starter on the defensive line, and Mekhi Wingo. You're going to get Austin Burton here at starting quarterback. He did start against FAU. It's FAU. The game was close. It was meh. Aiden O'Connell is just so important. And then you're missing also Charlie Jones, one of the best receivers in the country this year. Defensively, Purdue's going to have to rely on a lot of freshmen in the front seven, some inexperienced secondary. They're missing their top two targets, their best offensive lineman, and their star quarterback. That's bad news here. This could look like that Purdue game against Auburn when they were just outclassed athletically and got blown out of the building. I think it was in the same. I think that was the Music City Bowl. I think that was in Nashville. I laid it with LSU, assuming that O'Connell was probably going to sit. I still would, if you can get 14 or better, I would lay it with LSU. It gets dicey at 14.5 with back doors. Maybe you look first half, but all the wide receivers for LSU are going to play. Purdue can't really run the ball, and their starting quarterback, their best tight end, their best offensive lineman, the best wide receiver are out. So how are they attacking LSU? The talent gap in this game is massive. This is all LSU for me. I think this is just an easy, obvious blowout. What do you see?
You hit the nail on the head when you said there's a massive talent gap. So we could sit here and tell you about the length of LSU's injury, opt-out, transfer portal. I mean, it is a long list of names. And when you look at guys like, on the edge, BJ Ojulari with 49 pressures and 9 sacks, and Ali Gay on the other side going to the NFL, I got news for everybody. LSU has depth, a ton of depth. They came into the season with the most snaps inherited through the transfer portal of anybody last season. And now I'm literally looking at the transfer portal rankings for next year already. LSU is 17th on the board, but this is what's happening with LSU. They've lost 10 3-stars. They've gained 2 4-stars. This is a emerging giant, a sleeping giant that has woken up. This LSU recruiting and transfer portal, Brian Kelly's got it all going. But back to this game.
On the flip side, Purdue, when you lose a star player, the drop-off is significant.
Yeah, when LSU has to replace a star player like BJ Ojulari, they're not hurting for talent at all. Everybody's long, huge, and going to be able to get into the backfield. So, Purdue, I don't know, 6-year senior Austin Burton's going to be in a quarterback. I read that the locker room loves him. He's been working out with, new assistant coach Drew Brees. Everybody's chummy until, the ball gets snapped. But, both Michael Alamino and Brady Allen are expected to get snaps under center if it doesn't work out with Austin Burton. So, little bit of musical chairs at quarterback for Purdue. That doesn't sound good. You mentioned all the top targets are gone. The ones you mentioned, Charlie Jones, Payne Durham, 231 targets on the team. The next tight end on the depth chart only has 11.
Yeah, by the way, when Burton started against FAU, by the way, it's a horrible defense, and they won 28-26 at home. Charlie Jones had 9 catches for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns. Durham had 4 catches. They had 13 of the 22 catches. They're both gone, and he's going to be missing one of the best offensive linemen. And instead of playing FAU's defense, he's playing LSU's defense.
Yeah. And then when you go to the LSU offensive side of the ball, I'm not really sure it matters if Jaden Daniels is fully healthy or not, because Garrett Nussmeier loves to throw it into any situation possible. Doesn't care if it's dangerous or not. So much Brett Favre in his arm there. But, both shouldn't have issues against a Purdue defense that was terrible in passing downs, 87th in coverage, 103rd in allowing explosives and standard downs, which will get them into passing downs real quick. Kayshon Boutte is going to return. I think Kayshon Boutte returning for LSU just shows you the mindset that is coming to this LSU team. Him sticking around for 2023, whether it's NIL money or belief in the team or belief in Brian Kelly, I think it's a huge statement that Booty is going to stay there on the team. And Brian Kelly mentioned that Purdue was in, and this I think is a great analogy. He said Purdue is in the exact same boat that we were in a year ago. Plenty of transition on the roster, plenty of transition with the coaches. Now he didn't say this. We all know what happened to LSU in the bowl last year. Kansas State ran them up a flagpole, right? And if Brian Kelly is making that comparison, the exact same thing is happening here. I think LSU first half is the play. There's too much athleticism, like Harold Perkins on the defensive side of the ball. I would expect LSU to empty out the benches in the second half because Brian Kelly may want film on these guys. He's still got evaluation due to force guys get into the portal, maybe get some other guys into the program. I think the second half is going to be a crapshoot if LSU leads by 3 scores. So I'll take an LSU first half play here.